Radiology, X-rays are produced when fast-moving electrons interact with atoms and release some or all of the kinetic energy they possess in the form of electromagnetic radiation, which if it's in the right energy range can take the form of X-rays. There are multiple ways in which electrons can interact with atoms and transfer energy to them, including excitation, ionization, and through Bremsstrahlung interactions, and I'll briefly explain these three processes. High-energy, high-speed electrons can interact with the outer shell, inner shells, or nucleus of an atom. Prior to this interaction, an atom is said to be in its ground state. In this unexcited state, the electrons are arranged so that the inner shells are fully occupied. Outside of these filled shells, you have unoccupied shells at higher energy levels, which are not filled when the atom is in its ground state. It's worth noting that the further away a shell is from the nucleus, the higher its energy level. But conversely, the binding energy decreases as you're moving further away from the pull of the nucleus, which can seem a bit contradictory. The first interaction I'll talk about is an excitation interaction, as these usually require the least energy. So, a rapidly moving electron might transfer a little bit of its energy to an outer orbiting electron through electrostatic interaction as it passes by. This energy addition can cause the electron to move to a higher energy level, for example from the M shell to one of the unoccupied shells. And at this point in time, the atom is said to be in its excited state. Orbiting electrons only exist in shells at discrete energy levels, so in order for excitation to occur, the exact right amount of energy must be transferred to the electron to allow it to bridge the binding energy gap between the shell it occupies in the ground state and the new shell that it moves to, but no more or less. In this excited state, the atom is not at equilibrium, as you have an electron vacancy at a lower energy level, while an electron occupies a shell at a higher energy level, and this is an unstable configuration, so the atom wants to quickly return to its ground state. In order to do so, the electron drops down from the higher energy shell back to its original shell, and emits the energy it gained as electromagnetic radiation or an alpha electron, which is where it transfers the energy to another electron which then flies off.